Well, welcome to this tutorial. Once again, we just want to do something, and here I would like to guide you step by step on how to design an invoice in Microsoft Excel. So take this your seat and sit back, relax as I take you through in this tutorial. Weigh in your comments, subscribe and share, but above all I pray that you will be able to watch as you also do practice so that you grasp these concepts. So let's go. I want us to have a name of our business that we will define up here. We are calling it a B&K Bookshop, maybe in Malindi, so we will just say Malindi. Like that. Then here we are going to, perhaps we will want to have a few things included here. So we'll want to have something like delivery number, because anytime you deliver goods you'll be given some item, some document that will prove you have surely supplied the goods. So we would want to increase this just to have that way. Then we are going to probably allow this to be our serial number, and then we will have the item. Maybe we can have some quantity, yes, or we can have description, maybe description. Then we can have quantity, then we can have unit price, then we can have now the cost, or the total cost for that matter. So having this in mind, we need to just adjust these elements. Maybe you have something like that, then the description, and maybe the quantity, then you have your unit cost, unit price, and then you have the cost. So probably would want to include here, we are saying this is the invoice, invoice number. Probably we are going to have an invoice number, so this number will be entered by whoever will be doing the delivery. So that is how we have it. So it looks like this, but we can be able to play around some few things, like we can merge these cells to have it look better. We can also merge this and then center it so that we have that particular title appearing up there. We can change how the text looks like and even increase the size of it. We can even change the color by coming here. This is the text, and then we can change the color to something like that. We can bold these other elements if we so wish, just like that. Even this one we can bold it, and this one we can also bold it. So at this point we now have an outline of our invoice. So probably here you will have things like 1, that is numbering, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. So those are going to be your elements, the serial numbers for the items that you would want to include. Now here I want to allow the user to either type or select. So how do I do that? So I need to introduce the field of validation, and from that validation, that is when we can be able to either select or enter data. So we click on this data menu icon, then we will come here and click on this validation. So let's click on it. Then the validation dialog box has got some number of things. One is a setting, then the input message. Like when I click on that field, what message do I get? And the error alert, just in case I violate the rule. Then what would be the warning? So I do not really want to set this one at the moment, but I want to do some settings. So I'm going to select not just any value. I want to have a list, and I can check to ignore blank, just in case someone has not typed anything, that will be ignored, and so it is still okay. Then in the cell drop down, yes, so I want it to be in the cell drop down, and this is where I'm going to define my items. Let's say this is a bookshop, and so in a bookshop maybe we are dealing with things such as a dictionary, comma. So the comma would be able to separate the elements that we are also dealing with here. We have let's say we have a storybook, maybe we have another one here is a textbook, maybe we have maybe these are biro pens, etc. So this is how you define your list, and these lists you just separate them using commas, and you'll see how they will appear on the other end. So like now, if I'm here and I want to enter data, you now see there's this drop down menu. I don't know whether you are able to see it clearly. I'm zooming it out so that you can see there is this drop down menu. When I click on it, you can see the name of the books that I have just entered, but you realize this is not fine. I need to look at it, so I'll still go back and click on validation, and then I just edit. This should be single O, like that, and then I have it. So when I click here, there you can spot. So that is how you do a drop down list in this environment of Microsoft Excel. So I can pull this down to enable me be able to paste the formula. I'm carrying forth the formula. So I have already done autofilling, so that is it. We'll have some description of elements the way you would like to have them. That is at the discretion of the one who is selling. Then I want us to have the quantity, and then the unit price, and then the cost. So the cost will be calculated by doing the product of quantity times unit price. So let's say this is we say equal signs, then we say product. That is how you calculate the product. Then you have the first number would be from this one, and then you just do a comma, and then you have this. Sorry, that will not give us the right thing. So we do equal sign product, then we are saying quantity. It should be the other way around, D4, yes, comma, and we are multiplying it with this E4, and then we just press. For now, this will give us a 0 because we have no values here. But again, we need to be careful. What are we going to store in these elements? I mean, in these columns. Like in this quantity, we want to store numbers. So I would highlight, then I'll go back home, and under general, we can say numbers, like that. Then this price is definitely going to store currency. So we can click here and look for the currency that we would want to have, depending on our settings. Let me just come here and say currency. So I have currency here, and let me enter some value. You realize that this is Kenya shillings. It is speaking Kenya shillings because at the moment my settings in the panel, of course the control panel, under region and settings, it's set to be Kenya. So let's say I have a quantity of maybe 3. That gives me the product. So even here, I want it to be in terms of money. So I'll just come back here and probably click here, and I'll be done. So like that, that is going to give me money. So you need to select the item, like maybe that is it, and the quantity is that. This is not real, it's an imaginary. Maybe a brown color. Maybe you can say brown cover. We have another dictionary, and this time around this dictionary is a heavy cover, and the quantity that has been sold is 4, and each one of them was going at the rate of 3,458 shillings. So, and we just need to pull down so that we do the calculations like that. The number is huge, so we need to increase. So that is how you do your calculations on an invoice. Assuming that this person only bought, let's say maybe he also bought, I could still type, maybe I bought some biro, but it's good just to use what we have already defined here. So let's say they bought some textbooks, and these textbooks are maybe curriculum, and this one of them costed that. That is not the right thing. It should be 5, and each one of them costed that. So you have them here. So down here, we want to introduce something. Probably we are going to pay. We can do away with this field here. We're going to have what we call subtotal. Well, we could try to see if we can find the subtotals here and see if that can work. This can be applied to selected range. Select a single cell in a range and try. So maybe let's try and see if this is going to work for us. Okay, that cannot be able to work. So let's do our own way, the way we know how to go about it. So with this total, we can just match these cells to have it there. So the subtotal is given by, we can say here, sum, okay, equals to sum, equals to sum. Then we can say from here, and then we can put a range to somewhere like here. So we want to do summation up to that point. So you realize that this is what you have as a summation of our value, and we want to add something here. Maybe add tax, add VAT tax. And we know in Kenya majorly VAT tax is 16% of the production, or over the total there. So what are we going to do? Simple. We are going to calculate 16% of this amount here. So what is the address here? That is the address that we have. It is F12. And we need to calculate 16% of it and output it here. So in this case, we are going to say 16%. Let's see if that is going to work. Times this value here. Okay, let's say this equals to 16% times this value here. Yes, so just do your computation to see whether that is true. That 16% times this, is it really 6,056? We can do that calculation to be able to know whether that is true.